In 2016, the University of British Columbia's esports club hosted Battle of BC, a decently sized regional for Smash 4 and Melee that brought in 450 attendees, including a handful of notable players from out of region. Now, 7 years later, the event's 5th installment has grown to become one of the largest Smash super majors of the year. Battle of BC 5, headed by Deer and the team at Gallant Gaming, is taking place at the Vancouver Convention Center from May 19th to the 21st, featuring some of the best Smash players the world has to offer. On the Melee side, Battle of BC 5 is set up to be the biggest event since Genesis 9 in January, with 15 out of the game's top 20 players already confirmed. While it's been a slower year for in-person Melee, the events we've had so far, coupled with results from 2022, paint a very interesting picture, with the top spots on the Melee rankings heavily in contention. If BOBC 5 hits its 512 player cap, which it seems to be on pace to do, it will become the second largest event of the year so far and will play a pivotal role in determining the game's narrative moving forward. Could 2023 be the year of Jmook? After making history by being the first solo Sheik to win a major in nearly 20 years, and at Genesis of all places, he doubled down and proceeded to win Collision 2023 2 months later, taking wins on Zain, Cody, aMSa, Zuppy, and moky in the process. While absent at Major Upset, Jmook's wins at the other 2 Melee majors means that he is coming into his 3rd major undefeated and poised to take home his 3rd trophy. If you've been paying attention to Jmook this year, you've likely also been watching Cody, who's maintained his position as a top-tier threat in Melee. Cody boasts a recent win at Major Upset, defeating SFAT, aMSa, Hungrybox, and Plup twice to secure the title. Cody also placed 2nd at Genesis 9 with a win on Zain and another over Plup, and he secured a 3rd place at Collision 2023, where he traded sets with Jmook. Add in a string of Coinbox wins to the equation, and it's clear that despite some bad luck with sponsors and other external factors, Cody is not slowing down. Zain needs no introduction. The current #1 player in Melee, Emperor Zain, looks to add the Battle of BC crown to his collection after falling at 2nd place at Battle of BC 3 and 4 to aMSa and Leffen respectively. Zain took home a 5th place finish at Genesis and 2nd at Collision with wins on Leffen, Cody, and Lod among others. While he has yet to win a major tournament in 2023, he is still playing in top form, and the BOBC 5 title is well within his reach. Plus, with his recent signing to Moist Moguls, this will be his major debut under the Moist banner and the perfect opportunity to remind everyone why he is the #1 ranked Melee player in the world. No amount of content creation, tournament organizing, or competing can slow Hungrybox down. Melee's feature Jigglypuff main has spent so much time at the top that his inclusion feels like a given, and his top 8 placement an inevitability. Hbox boasts consistently strong recent results, including 3rd at Level Up Expo, 5th at Genesis and Main Stage, and 7th at Collision. After a 3rd place finish at last year's Battle of BC 4, Hungrybox returns looking to win it all. Another key player to watch this time around is aMSa, who moved to Vancouver from Japan last year. Without the complications of having to travel across the world to compete, aMSa has seen a huge spike in his results, starting with his historic win at the Big House 10, which turned into an awe-inspiring streak of top placements that culminated in him being voted 2nd on SSBM Rank 2022. Despite achieving numerous top 3 placements at events towards the end of 2022, including impressive wins at Apex and Scuff World Tour, aMSa has struggled to maintain that same level of consistency this year. He placed 9th at Genesis 9 and 13th at Collision, but has demonstrated that he can still dominate when everything falls into place, with a notable victory at Level Up Expo, a 3rd place finish at Major Upset, and a 2nd place finish at Toronto Regional to come up. With Battle of BC 5 taking place in his new backyard, all eyes will be on aMSa as he looks to reclaim some of the success he found at the end of last year. Speaking of hometown heroes, BC's top talent will all be in attendance for Battle of BC 5, including Amrak, Polo, Webwipe, Elliot, SB, and more. While the rest of BC's Melee players may not be on the same level as aMSa, results such as Elliot's wins on Null and Hungrybox prove that the local talent is capable of making huge waves on their home turf. As a result of aMSa moving to Vancouver, a certain Marth main has cemented himself as the new #1 in Japan, Inngenn. And thanks to our generous community, Inngenn will be flown out to Battle of BC 5 as part of the event's compendium. While he has traveled to North America before for the Smash World Tour 2021 Championships and Scuff World Tour in 2022, Battle of BC 5 will mark his first time competing in an open bracket overseas. Staying in Canada, there's one Ontario Fox main who looks dangerous this year. Moky's play has awakened, and he's secured top 8 placements at all 4 of his last majors: Apex, Main Stage, Genesis where he got 3rd, and Collision. His bracket runs include wins on Cody, Plup, and Hungrybox among others, and the Canadian star looks poised to maintain his momentum heading into Vancouver as he looks to maintain this upwards trajectory. His provincial peers Nunn and Zuppy will also make the trip to compete. Joshman, having recently moved from Australia to Ontario, is looking for redemption after narrowly missing top 8 at Battle of BC 4. With Alberta's Sunsei confirmed as well, all of Canada's top Melee players will be in the same place at Battle of BC 5. Could this be Canada's year? Finally, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the two-time Battle of BC champion, Leffen. Big Leff is once again making the trip out from Sweden to defend his title, and although he hasn't attended a Melee event since Genesis, we can never rule out the possibility of him pulling it off. Last year, he pulled out his pocket cheek to take out Zain and claim the Battle of BC 4 title. Since then, he's continued to use the character to great effect, and seeing the success Jmook has been seeing in 2023, it won't be that surprising if we see more Sheik from Leffen alongside his trusty Fox at Battle of BC 5. We've covered most of Melee's Titans, but this event's talent pool continues running deeper. aMSa's Pixel Perfect Pikachu returns to Vancouver for the first time since becoming the Battle of BC 3 champion, and fresh off winning Smash Camp. We'll also be seeing top UK players Frenzy and Max, Triff making the trip from Spain, and a slew of high-level American players including Kadoran, acola, S2J, and Fiction, just to name a few. Meanwhile, Ultimate at Battle of BC 5 is looking unbelievably stacked. It has officially earned the P-tier distinction according to the UltRank tournament tiering system, making it one of only 3 events this year to achieve this alongside Genesis 9 and last week's Kagaribi number 10 in Japan. At the time of this video's recording, over 30 of the top 50 players on UltRank 2022 are registered for the event, making it one of the most stacked open tournaments in Ultimate's history. MkLeo, the current best player in the world, is making his return to Battle of BC for the first time since winning the Smash 4 bracket at Battle of BC 2 in 2017. After dominating competitive Ultimate for the first few years of its lifespan, Leo has recently been showing signs of weakness, with some of the game's other top players rising to his level and challenging his title of best player. While he has always had a vast character pool, Leo seemed to be struggling with a character crisis earlier in the year, which came to a head when he uncharacteristically placed outside of the top 8 at Smash Ultimate Summit 6 using a mix of Joker, Byleth, and Meta Knight. However, he seems to have found his footing again after a return to form at Major Upset with solo Aegis, where he placed second, only losing to Spargo. Heading into Battle of BC 5, it will be interesting to see if Pyra and Mithra will be what Leo needs to repeat his dominant Genesis 9 performance and remind people that he is the best. When we talk about the peak of Smash Ultimate, Spargo is right there with MkLeo at the top. Despite their record sitting at 17-11 in Leo's favor, Spargo has proven that he is capable of taking tournaments over his fellow countrymen. At Major Upset, Spargo lost to MkLeo in Winners Finals before tearing through Riddles and Losers to challenge Leo again in Grands, where he defeated him 6 games to 1 with Cloud to claim the tournament. With this momentum behind him, Spargo is looking to prove that he's worthy of the title of #1 player. Joining these 2 players at Battle of BC 5 are some more of Mexico's top talent, including Meister, Big Boss, Chag, and SkyJ, who's coming off of some incredible runs at Collision and Smash Ultimate Summit 6 with Solo and Incineroar. Looking a little to the east, we also need to mention Sonix, who's picked up top 8 placements at every big event he's attended this year and has been farming the bi-weekly online coin box brackets. He will definitely be another player to watch at Battle of BC 5. America's also bringing its heavy hitters to bat, and who better to start with than Tweek, the esteemed Diddy Kong and Sephiroth dual main from New Jersey. Tweek recently finished second at Smash Ultimate Summit 6, losing only to acola, and he's consistently in the running for best player not only in the US, but the world as a whole. He then won KawaiiCon 2023 over Glutonny, earning himself a nice first place finish and a tropical vacation to boot. If Tweek isn't the best American right now, then it's the scrappy Fox main from Connecticut, Light. Light consistently goes toe-to-toe with the world's best, using blazing speed and intensity against any opponent. After a fiery 3rd place finish at Genesis 9, Light claimed February's Level Up Expo over Tweek. In March, he picked up a disappointing 9th place finish at Collision before falling ill and unfortunately missing out on Smash Ultimate Summit 6. Now, he's heading into Battle of BC 5 with that fire in his heart and something to prove. In addition to these 2, there are many other American players coming to Battle of BC 5 who have proven they are capable of making a deep run and potentially even winning the event, including Mudace, Onin, Apollo Kage, Aaron, Cola, Zamba, DeBuzz, and so many more. Wrapping up the North American trio, we arrive at Battle of BC's homeland, Canada. BC is bringing its best to battle, starting with Big D. The world's best ice climber stocks have been skyrocketing recently after he captured 2nd at GOML 2022, 3rd at Mainstage 2022, and an electric 3rd place finish at Smash Summit 6 with a win on acola. A 4th place finish at Major Upset proved that these results are no fluke, and how fitting would it be if Canada's biggest tournament this year would be Big D's biggest victory to date. The second of BC's globally ranked players, Ouch, shines when the stage is brightest. After a heroic hometown run to 3rd place at Battle of BC 4 with wins on Big D, Kome, Shuton, and Riddles, Ouch is looking to show the world why he is the #1 ranked player in the province, even over Big D himself. Finally, heading over 4,000 kilometers to the east, we find ourselves in the 6. While Big D has been putting Canada on the road to the top, Riddles is the one who paved it. Canada's best player is competing at Battle of BC 5, and he will delete stocks. Riddles won the gold at Collision in March, claimed 3rd at Major Upset in April, and grabbed a 4th place finish at the stacked aMSa Top 12 in Japan a couple weeks ago, proving that he can stack up against anyone in the world. Riddles, typically the Canadian invader for US tournaments, this time will have his fellow countrymen at his back cheering him on in hopes that a Canadian will bring home the trophy. There are so many more players traveling from all over Canada to congregate at the country's most stacked tournament ever, including Lemon, Smock, Exodia, Nadia, Black Twins, and Soar, and any one of them could end up on the winning side of the tournament upset thread. Even after mentioning all of these top North American players, we're still only scratching the surface of the level of talent making its way to Vancouver for Battle of BC 5. 10 of these players will face off at primetime on Saturday against 10 of the strongest contenders from the rest of the world in the North America versus the World Crew Battle. And boy, are there a lot of strong contenders from the rest of the world. One of these contenders is Acola, whose recent win at the final Smash Ultimate Summit launched him into discussions for best player in the world. Despite getting upset in winner's quarters by Big D, Acola ran through MkLeo, Glutonny, Proto-Banham, and Kurama in losers before winning the runback with Big D and double eliminating Tweek to take the tournament. He followed this up with wins at Tamasuma Kyokan 2 and aMSa Top 12, further solidifying his position as the best player in Japan. With Steve legal at Battle of BC 5, the stage is set for him to go on a huge run and extend that title to best player in the world. Top Game & Watch player Miya, who is currently considered Japan's second best player after Acola, will also be in attendance. After capturing the world's attention with a first place finish at Apex 2022, Miya has seemingly leveled up even further, achieving an unprecedented level of consistency at regional and major tournaments in Japan. He's won 4 out of his last 6 big events, with the other 2 placements being second place finishes to Acola at aMSa Top 12 and Shuton at Kowloon 5. Given this level of consistency, we can absolutely expect to see Miya take names on the big stage at Battle of BC 5. Shuton himself is also returning to Battle of BC this year as his reigning Battle of BC 4 champion Ken. Also, thanks to the help of everyone who donated for the NA vs. the World Crew Battle and the Battle of BC 5 Compendium, we were able to fly out Ryo, Yara, and Neo for their first overseas tournament. With all of the talent making its way over from Japan, it's possible that any of these players could have a big breakout performance. However, possibly the most heavily anticipated player making the trip from Japan is Team World's captain Yoshidora, the Yoshi sensation from Kansai who is making his debut appearance at a North American event for Battle of BC 5. Yoshidora has taken sets off of some of Japan's strongest players, including Acola, Proto-Banham, T, Shuton, Ken, and more, and everybody is holding their breath to see how well he will perform overseas. Finally, we travel to Europe. The continent's #1 player, Glutonny, returns for revenge after a 5th place finish at Battle of BC 4. Gluto continues to compete at the highest level in Ultimate, placing top 8 at every major event he's attended in 2023, including Let's Make Big Moves, Genesis 9, and Smash Ultimate Summit 6. Gluto isn't the only threat traversing the Atlantic Ocean from the EU. All of Siski, Lugi, Quick, Tarek, Andres FN, and Mr. R are making the trip too. Gluto, Tarek, and Mr. R will represent the EU on Team World in the crew battle. Finally, rounding out the World Crew is our South American rep and the North American vs. the World vote-in, ferps, who we can also expect to take some names with his Kazuya and its signature ferps tech. With so many of the best players from around the world in attendance, the question of best region in Smash Ultimate could very well be answered. And even if it isn't, Battle of BC 5 promises to solidify the series' place as a mainstay Smash Supermajor and must-attend tournament. If you prefer to watch from home, you can find us streaming on the BTS Smash and Gallant Gaming Twitch channels from Friday, May 19th to Sunday the 21st. Either way, we hope you're as excited as we are for Battle of BC 5. Thanks for watching.